Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Out of ammo, out of time. I'm your host Krabby Terror 8 and here we are in episode... Is it 32? I should have checked. I think it's 32. Or is it 31? Oh my goodness. I'm now currently checking my own channel to find out which one it's supposed to be. Because we did Patrice, she was 31. So it is episode 32 of the Investigator Games. Yes, and for those of you new to the channel, welcome. It's great to have you on board. What is the Investigator Games, I hear you ask? What are you doing here? Well, it's like the Hunger Games. We take each investigator true solo through a scenario now. We've finished season 1, which was The Gathering. And we're in season 2. We're quite a way through season 2, taking each investigator true solo through the Midnight Masks. Now, if you have not seen the Gathering scenarios, then I would recommend that you go and see those. And if you've not played Arkham Horror, the card game, or you haven't played the Midnight Masks before, I would recommend that you do those first. I'm assuming you know how to play a little bit. And I'm assuming that you don't, that you're not brand new to the scenario either. Although I guess that's fine if you don't mind it being spoiled. And I understand that people come here to check out how investigators go, which is all perfectly fine. So, yeah, speaking of which, here we have Luke Robinson, the Dreamer. He is Dreamer, Drifter, Wayfarer, Traded. He is the Mystic in the Dream Eaters campaign. Pretty interesting Mystic as well. I think I said in the first scenario, some Mystics mess with charges. Some Mystics mess with the Chaos Bag. Luke Robinson messes with space. I don't think he messes with time, but he definitely messes with space. For him, space is just a mere plaything, as he can zip around pretty much anywhere. So, yeah, very interesting. I'm just going to go through his stats and key things because I need to do that anyway. And we'll have a look at a few more things on the back of his card. And then we'll just go through the upgrades of his deck. If you want to see more about his starter deck, and every investigator in the Investigator game starts with their official FFG starter deck, then that would be in the Gathering video as well. So Luke has a pretty strong stat line, very strong as you would expect, or not very, very strong, but pretty strong in willpower with a nice 4 for his willpower. His intellect is pretty good as well at a respectable 3. Which means if somebody wanted to run solo, I think Luke Robinson would be okay for that with a 3 intellect and a 4 willpower. I think you'd be all right there. Now, his fight is only 2, but to be honest, well, fight, it's strength really, isn't it? But to be honest, you wouldn't really be using that stat for fighting anyway. You would use his willpower to shrivel Azure Flame, etc., individuals, enemies. And his agility is also pretty good at a respectable 3 as well. So that's good for when you require the odd evasion or skill test for something. So pretty good all round, I have to say. In terms of even though his fight's a bit low, that's not really a problem for a Mystic. Now, a couple of things. He is very different in the way that he plays. I do like his outfit, actually. Sort of in this gold dressing gown, looking very smart. So you begin the game with the gate box in play. This is the gate box here. It has 3 charges on it. Now, it starts in play, so you don't have to play it, even though it's a 3-cost asset. I'm assuming, I suppose, if for some reason... can't imagine what, but you may need to play it, something like that. But anyway, it's got 3 charges on it. You can exhaust the gate box as a sort of fast action, I guess you'd call it. Spend a charge. You disengage from each enemy engaged with you and search your bonded cards for the Dream Gate and put it into play and move it. Now, it's the Dream Gate Wondrous Journey. Here it is. And it's essentially its own little location. It's a 1 shroud, 0 clue location. So you basically move to that. You move to this sort of location. It's connected to each other revealed location and vice versa, and enemies and investigators other than Luke Robinson can't enter it. So it's not like the hunter enemy could follow you here. It's like a little safe zone, if you like. And at the end of the investigation phase, not your turn, but the end of the investigation phase, you put it back out of play, and Luke Robinson can then move to any revealed location. So essentially, you can use it. It's quite flexible. You can use it in a couple of ways. You could use it to, of course, evade enemies completely, and then pop out somewhere else. But you can also use it to, of course, move somewhere fast, sort of like a very fast elusive. Well, not fast elusive, I guess, because you've got to wait till the end of the turn, but it's like a slow elusive, if you like. And I'm thinking in the Midnight Mass that can be really helpful because you can be being chased by people. You want to be somewhere else, and getting there can be a bit difficult, and this can be really handy to do that. And particularly, handy if you do it at the end of your investigation actions, because you're not really losing anything then. You can do that, pop away, and then you're fine. So very nice effect. He has a second thing here that you can play 1 event each turn as if you were at a connecting location and engage with each enemy at that location. So there are a number of event cards in his deck that allow him to do all kinds of interesting things from that perspective. For example, if I just take one example of that, Mind Over Matter. He has a Mind Over Matter, which allows you to use intellect instead of fight, would allow you to actually fight an enemy at another location. So that's kind of okay. That's kind of interesting. Also, he's got something like, other events. He's got things like Blinding Light, which allow you to evade using your willpower, so you could evade an enemy in another location. And even something like Drawn to the Flame. So you could use Drawn to the Flame not on the location you're at, but on another location, as long as it's revealed, of course. So yeah, that's interesting. So interesting things there with Luke. His Elder Sign effect is +1, which is sort of pretty standard, but importantly, it allows you to place a charge on the gate box because that is a limited resource. It only has 3 on it. So, I mean, typically in a game, you would hope for at least 1 Elder Sign, so you can sort of bank on having 4 charges on there throughout a game. The key to the Dreamlands lies within us all. Yep. Okay, cool. Now, his health is on the lowish side. That's probably the biggest thing you've got to watch for. So in the Midnight Mass, of course, we have things like the Hunting Shadow and things that can do you damage, and there's 3 of them in the deck, so they could literally do in Luke Robinson by themselves. So having some allies or other ways to soak damage is helpful. On the flip side, his mental health is super, super strong with a massive 9, so he can soak horror for days. Less of an issue there. Now, if we just flip his card, he takes a standard deck size, Mystic cards 0 to 5, as you would expect, but also Seeker cards 0 to 2, so he's a Seeker Mystic hybrid, which is why I think he would make a pretty decent solo character, because his Mystic cards allow him to do quite a lot, but he can also take those nice Seeker cards for extra card drawing, extra clue seeking, whatever it may be. And then neutral cards, of course. And gate box, and he's got a standard weakness, and we'll talk about that when we look at his deck. It was many years ago when Luke discovered the entrance to the Dreamlands. Through the gift of an unusual box his uncle had left him, he learned of a way to travel to and from the gates of sleep. He has spent the majority of his days wandering the land of dreams in search of adventure. From the streets of Celophaes to the enchanted wood with its endless mysteries he wanders, unravelling the secrets of the land and of the myriad dreamers who reside there. Now an ancient chaos threatens to annihilate not only the waking world, but the world of his dreams as well. This is something Luke cannot allow. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Okay, so that's Luke Robinson. So, so if we just have a little look at his starter deck. Well, not his starter deck now, but I took his starter deck, his official FFG starter deck, which would have been drawn from the, assuming you have obviously the starter base game, and then you have the Dreamlands expansion, the deluxe expansion. So that's what it was drawn from. Now you can see here it was a grab bag, as we would expect, of Mystic and Seeker cards. And really what I've tried to do with his he got 6 experience from the Gathering, was just really try to kind of shore up and really strengthen the deck in certain ways. So obvious, now we're not playing Taboo here. It's hard enough playing with the starter decks without adding Taboo as well. So an obvious addition was to add in Malign Christopher, add in a Holy Rosary because that boosts his willpower, add in another Shriveling. There was only 2 Shrivelings, 1 Shriveling in the deck. So the only way we really have to fight, we have a mind over matter, but really it's the Shrivelings. So we do want a Shriveling out on the table if we're going to deal with the Masked Hunter. I added in another Arcane Studies because if we've got Malign Christopher on the table, then we should be creating quite a lot of resources, and Arcane Studies is then really helpful because, it allows us to boost our willpower and our intellects, which fits very nicely with Luke because he's a Seeker Mystic hybrid. On top of that, I also put in 2 Sixth Senses, which are just, an easier way to find clues, quite frankly. So I put those in as well. We've got lots of ways to get clues, which is good for the Midnight Mask because it's all about getting clues. If you can't get clues in the Midnight Mask quickly, then you're not really going to get very far very quickly, as we know. Now, I took out, and then I just took out something that took out medical text. I took out Barricade, Astounding Revelation, Research Librarian, and Forbidden Knowledge and Scrying. So I took all of those out to allow us to add those extras in. So that's how I've changed the deck. Now, just a couple of other things in terms of, we talked about the gate box. Now, his signature weakness is something called Detach from Reality, as opposed to Detach from Realty, which is something to do with buying houses. I don't know. But anyway, Detach from Reality. If Dreamgate Wondrous Journey is already in play, flip it over. Otherwise, search your bonded cards for Dreamgate Pointless Reality and put it into play. In either case, disengage from each enemy engaged with you and move to the Dreamgate. So the flip side of this card is Dreamgate Pointless Reality. So this is enemies and investigators, same thing. You end up here as Luke, but after you successfully investigate the Dreamgate, flip it. At the end of the investigation phase, set Dreamgate side out of play. If Luke Robinson is here, move into any location, takes 2 horror. So you've got a choice here. You can try and investigate a 6 shroud location and then flip it, or if you're still here, then you go back, but you get hit for 2 horror, which isn't the end of the world. I mean, Luke's got a lot of horror. It probably just breaks the flow of what you're doing. So it's kind of just it's a bit of a pain from that perspective. Yeah. Okay, so not too bad really. Put that back there. So that's his signature weakness. Psychosis is his random weakness that he drew for the gathering. Yeah, if you take one or more horror, you take a direct damage, which actually for Luke is not a good thing. Not something he wants to have hanging around with only 5 health. Apart from that, I think they're on the other 2 things. So there you go. Don't know. What do you think? What do you think about the changes I made? I mean, they're pretty standard changes. I suppose I could have put more offensive spells in, I guess. I'm kind of relying on getting at least 1 shriveling. Maybe I could have done more there, but I'm sort of thinking that with Luke, it's going to be more around zipping around the board, getting as many clues as I can, getting as many cultists as I can, as quickly as I can. And if we get a shriveling and we can deal with the Mars Hunter, well, happy days. But that's, we can't just focus on that. So there we go. Now, I did have a chat to Luke in the trailer. Thank you to Miskatonic Trailers, as always, for providing the trailer rental around Arkham. It's very hard to interview Luke because he spends most of his time meditating, eyes closed. But he did leave me a note written with a quill pen on parchment, very flowery kind of font, saying that he was delighted with his efforts in the gathering, and he is hoping to further his efforts here in the Midnight Masks. So we shall see. Okay, so let's just read up the agenda and the act deck. And then I think we are pretty much ready to go. We're just going to wait for the horn to go off. Now, Luke is at the house. He's not looking at the house. He's sitting on the porch, actually, in a cross-legged lotus position. Pretty chill, considering some of the shenanigans that happen in this house. But anyway, that's where he is. He's just waiting for the bell to go so we can begin. So I'll just read this out. Agenda 1A, Predator or Prey, not Predator or Play. Predator or Prey, Lita seems convinced of a conspiracy within the city of Arkham. She believes that a secret cult serves the ghouls that live in the crypts beneath the city, and that several of the cult's prominent members are scattered throughout Arkham. As you begin searching for them, you can't shake the feeling that you too are being hunted. Resign. You don't want to risk taking too long, so you head to safety with the information that you've gathered. And uncovering the conspiracy. You have 1 night to find the members of this cult and unveil their plan. The more members of the cult you can find and interrogate before midnight, the better. Action. Investigators spend 2 clues per investigator as a group. Draw the top card of the cultist deck. Objective, find as many unique cultist enemies as you can and add them to the victory display. If there are 6 unique cultist enemies in the victory display, advance. There we go. So I think that's it. I think we're just waiting. Oh, there it goes. There goes the horn. And the crowd goes wild around Arkham. And Luke Robinson steps off the porch, waves to the crowd with a smile on his face, gate box in hand, and yes, we are ready to play episode 32 of the season 2 of the Investigator Games with Luke Robinson. So what do we want? Well, apart from obviously Milan Christopher and shriveling, I'll just move this a little bit apart. Look, I think the Holy Rosary would be great because that will boost our willpower. Sixth Sense would also be good. Any of those things would be great. So let's shuffle up and let's draw many. Let's see how we go. Let's draw our 5. Well, there we go. There's Milan Christopher, so that's nice. So we got Milan Christopher, but none of the other things really is what we're looking for. So what I might do is I might throw the other 4 in and draw another 4. 1, 2. Oh, there's a Holy Rosary. 3. Come on, 4. So we don't get shriveling. So we're a bit low on weaponry then. But we do have Arcane Studies, and we do have Holy Rosary and got Drawn to the Flame, which is also great. So it's not a bad start. I just wish we'd gotten something that we can fight with. So that's the biggest problem at the moment. So there we go. Not a bad start, but could be better. Okay, let's just get ourselves into turn 1. Okay, investigation phase. 3 actions on to Luke. Here at the house. So first action is pretty obvious. We're going to bring out Milan. Makes sense. So that's 4. Yep, that's the 4. Second action, I'm going to avail myself of the facilities. So I'm going to gain a resource and draw a card. And we get 6 cents. So that's great. But we can't pay for it yet. But we can, because we can give ourselves, we could try for, what are we? We are a 4, aren't we? 3 plus, 4. 4 versus 2. Why don't we give it a go? So for our third action, I'm going to see if we can get this clue. 2 up. Chaos Bag gives us a -2, so we succeed. That's right, isn't it? 3. Yep. 4. Yep. 4. Yeah, so we get that. And we get another resource. And there we go. That's our first action. That's pretty. First turn. That's pretty good. We got Malign Christopher out. We got a resource and we drew a card and we got 6 cents, which we'll definitely be getting out. And then we got ourselves the first clue, so we're well on the way. So next time, let's get ourselves another get the 6 cents, get up to Rivertown, get the second clue. We're on the way. The only thing, like I said, that we're missing is some kind of weaponry. So that makes it more difficult for us to do things because of that. So anyway, we move into the enemy phase. Speaking of which, no enemies to speak of. Move into upkeep. Well, look at this. We've got 76 cents. We don't know what to do with them now. I don't want 6 cents. I said shriveling. Never mind. Okay, so that's the upkeep phase. So we move into the Mythos phase. First Doom is down. Let's see what the good old encounter deck has. Well, what a start. Oh, boy. And we can't use our Ward of Protection either because it's not a treachery. So, fortunately, that's not a great start. That's not where we would have wanted to start. But that's okay because we have the gate box. So what we can do is we can use the gate box. But the problem with that is, with the gate box is I've just realized that would be normally great. But the problem is it's at the very start. So to use the gate box, you need to actually to any revealed location. So the problem is, and this is a slight weakness with this system, is at the very beginning of a scenario, it's not a lot of help if you want to use it to evade enemies, at least. Because you can move there, and I guess you could use it, I suppose you could move there and use it to, play cards and get yourself sort of ready. But the problem is you would take an attack of opportunity when you went back. So not great. Okay. All right. Well, it is what it is. So let's move into the investigation phase. 3 actions onto Luke. And the first thing we've got to do is deal with this Hunting Night Gaunt. Well, we can commit Ward of Protections to try and evade because it's a 1, and that would make it as a 1 versus a 4. So that's not fantastic, but it's better than nothing. So I guess we just go ahead because fighting is just not going to work. Like I said, we don't really have a way to fight effectively. So let's go ahead. 1 versus 4. Chaos Bag gives us a cultist, which is -2. Place a doom on the nearest cultist enemy. Well, thankfully there are no cultist enemies, but -2 becomes -4. So we are 4 -4, which gives us a 0, which means we fail. We fail to evade. So that was our first action. So I think we just go ahead again. I don't know what else to do because we've got no other way of evading. We don't really have a way of fighting. There's no point using the gate box. We could use the gate box and then we could draw a card, but I think we're just better off trying to evade because we're 1 versus 3. So as long as we just get a -1 or better, and at the moment skulls are 0, so let's go ahead and do it again. So we go and evade again, we get a -2, so we fail. Third go, 0, so we succeed. Well, all we've succeeded in doing is basically just evading for a turn. This is really frustrating, but anyway, it is what it is. So we didn't really do anything except just evade. So we move into the enemy phase. Enemy is evaded. Enemy is back up. And we got fearless. So here we are, second doom down, and we're not really doing anything at the moment. Let's see what the encounter deck has, and the encounter deck is placed in mysterious chanting. Place 2 doom on the nearest cultist enemy. If there are no cultist enemies in play, search for one. Okay, we will do that. Obviously, we just want a good old boring. Just looking for one now. Bring out the acolyte. And we want to put the acolyte somewhere, probably down here. I'll put him with a doom on him. Okay, so here we are. It's kind of Groundhog Day here because we're going to try again and evade this Hunting Night Gaunt. We are a 3 versus a 1. Chaos Bag doesn't do anything. We'll try that again. Chaos Bag gives us a -1, which is -2, which means we succeed. That's good. So we evade the Night Gaunt. We move to Rivertown. Now we could either bring out the Sixth Sense, or we could get this clue. And I'm thinking, what's the best thing to do? We need to get clue. We need to get going because already we're at 3 doom. We can't do anything with this acolyte because we can't really fight. Got no capacity to fight at the moment. So I think the best thing to do is get the clue. So we are a 4 versus a 1. Chaos Bag gives us a -2. So we succeed and we get the second clue. So there we go. So next time we can bring out the first cultist and see where we end up. And hopefully we can start dealing with that. So there we go. We managed to evade this Hunting Night Gaunt. We got ourselves into Rivertown. And then we got ourselves the second clue. So a bit delayed, I'm afraid. That's really kind of put a spanner in the works. So that was the investigation phase. So we move into the enemy phase, or the enema phase, as I like to call it. He doesn't move. He's exhausted. So we'll move into upkeep. We get the old book of lore. Har. So that would be quite a good thing to have down on the table. Plenty of cards in hand. So yeah. I'm also just acutely conscious of getting Crypt Chill, but then again, we've got a few ways to deal with that, so I should be okay. So we move into Mythos. Now we're up to 4 doom already. Let's see what the encounter deck has. The encounter deck has another mysterious chanting. Place 2 doom. Oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. This is really, oh boy. Things are not going well at all. So we're already at the doom threshold. So unless we can kill the acolyte, what are we? We're a fight of 2. No. So what we would have to do is we would have to move. We would have to fight a 2 versus a 3. So we would have to get +1. There's nothing we can, just, it's possible, but highly improbable. I think what we're better doing is getting ourselves ready and not being monstered by multiple enemies at the same time. That's probably the best thing to do. Okay, that happened all very, very fast. All right, so we move into the investigation phase. 3 actions on to Luke. And what are we going to do here? So one of the... thinking... Yeah, so we don't want to stay here for a start. So what I might do is first action, I want to see what the cultist is. So let's bring out the cultist as a first action. Shuffle them up. Herman Collins. Right. Now, normally, look, we've got tons of cards, so we could jump in there and get Herman Collins, but then we are in the graveyard, which means what will then happen is that the Hunting Nine Gaunt will move to Rivertown, and then we will have the Masked Hunter on us, and we will be in all kinds of trouble. And the problem is, if we use the gate box, we could evade the Masked Hunter, but then the only other place we could, like, for example, if we use the gate box, no, you see there's a, yeah, the Hunting Night Gaunt would be here. We would be here. We could use the gate box to evade, essentially, the Masked Hunter. But the problem is the only place we could go to would be to the house. But the problem with that is that, because there's just not enough places open for us. So that's, unfortunately, that's not a great idea. So either we move to Miskatonic University or we move up to East Town. We do one of the two. And we could go to Miskatonic University and use Drawn to the Flame and get ourselves 2 more clues. I'm thinking that might be the thing to do because we're running out of time. And then we've got another location open. So what I'm going to do is, yes, I'm going to move to Miskatonic University. Yep. And then I am going to, I'm going to play Drawn to the Flame as my third action. So we draw from the encounter deck. False lead, if you have no clues, false lead gains search. Well, we don't have any clues. And we get Obscuring Fog. Yes, I was hoping for something like that. So Obscuring Fog is perfectly fine. That can go there. We'll send it to the back and we get those 2 clues. Yeah, I was sort of hoping for a bit of luck there. That because I figured we already had a Hunting Night Gaunt out, so the chances of getting another one, I mean, it was possible but less probable. I was hoping for a locked door or an Obscuring Fog, because that doesn't matter with Drawn to the Flame. It's not an investigation. So there you go. We get those 2 clues, and the crowd goes wild because we get our first victory point. So that's really great. So that worked out well. So we got ourselves away from Rivertown, which we need to do. First thing we did was brought out Herman Collins so that we can revisit him later. We then moved to Miskatonic University and we played Drawn to the Flame. It was Obscuring Fog and we got the 2 clues, which is great, which means we've got 2 more clues. We can bring out another cultist and we've got more locations that we can sort of deal with. Maybe. Yeah, I still don't know whether we've actually given ourselves enough locations, but anyway. We will see how we go. So we move into the enemy phase. The Hunting Night Gaunt moves to Rivertown. We then move into Upkeep. Oh, now we get Hyper Awareness. Okay, I can see what we can do here. Okay, I think that might be helpful. Yes. Whew, okay. Pity we didn't get it earlier. Maybe if I'd drawn a card instead of playing Drawn to the Flame, it wouldn't have mattered. Okay. Okay. And then we move into Mythos. There we go. First agenda is done. There we go. There's all the doom. Gone. Flip. There he is, the Mouse Hunter.
Hello, Luke. Oh, no weapons. I think you're going down. Oh, and they're hunting Nightgaunt.
Okay, so there we go. So we've finished the first agenda. We are up to agenda 2A. Only 8 more turns to go. We can resign at any time if we want, if the time is running short. So there we go. And let's see what the encounter deck has. And the encounter deck has another. If you have no clues, falsely against edge. If you have no clues, test 4. Well, we are a 4, so currently it's a 4 on a 4, but we can make that a 5 on a 4. We can make that... I really don't want to drop my clues. 6 on a 4. I really don't want to drop my clues. 7 on 4. I'm really over-egging the sandwich here, and it didn't matter because I got an auto fail. I don't believe this. For each point you fell by, so the clues go back down. So we did all of that, and we got an auto fail, and we put the clues down, so we lose the victory point. That was a total waste of time. Oh boy! Wow. Okay, that was. Oh boy, this has been brutal. This is a bit like with Patrice. We've had a couple of really brutal scenarios. Investigation phase, 3 actions on to. Yeah, I know why he's exhausted. 3 actions. Now we are here. Now we're a 2 versus a 3. So either we bring out. I'm thinking we. Yeah, I think I'm going to take an attack of opportunity and bring out hyper awareness. So we take 2 damage and a horror. We'll put the horror onto Milan and we'll take 2 damage. Oh boy, can't take much damage, can we? Because again, the problem is, where do we go? You see, the problem with the gate box is we could have used it, but then we either have to go to Rivertown, Graveyard, your house, and the problem is then we'll get monstered. So anyway, that was the first action. Second action, I'm going to evade the Masked Hunter. So I am a 3. 3 versus 2. I'm going to make that a 4 versus 2 with hyper awareness. 5 versus 2. Let's make it a 6 versus a 2. We're really going to go for this. Chaos Bag gives us a skull, which is 0. So we exhaust the Masked Hunter. Where have you gone? And then with our final action, we will move up to north side. There we go. So anyway, so all we did basically was we took an attack of opportunity, brought out hyper awareness, and then we spent our way to evade, and then we moved to north side. So next time we can, hopefully we can get a couple of clues and see where we go. This is all, I wish we'd had a shriveling. So in the enemy phase, there we go. The Hunting Nightgaunt moves to Miskatonic University. In the upkeep, we get emergency cash. Okay, that's all right. That's actually quite good. And then in the Mythos phase, first Doom is down. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And another Acolyte. Where are we going to put this Acolyte? I don't want to put him along here. I don't want to put him here or here. I can't put him here. So I've either got to put him in St. Mary's Hospital or your house. I think I'm going to have to put him here because if we want to go to St. Mary's Hospital because we get Ruth Turner, we don't want to be dealing with him as well. Another Doom. Unbelievable. Okay. Let's move into the investigation phase. 3 actions onto Luke. Now, we can't hang around here too long, but the first action, we can spend our emergency cash, which gives us an extra 3, but we will keep those 3 and spend another 2, which means we get 2 clues. So that was our second action. Get the 2 clues. Yep. And then for our third action, we will pop to downtown, get out the way. Yep. Okay. So we've got 2 clues. So what we can do is we don't want to do it at downtown, but maybe we move to east. You see, we don't want to move too far either because then they'll come back for us. So maybe what we do is we move to East Town. We spend the clues. We want to spend the clues with downtown because of Wolfman Drew. And then depending on who it is, then we can maybe think about going to Herman Collins. The other thing we could think about is actually using the gate box. But we can't use it to get to the graveyard. So it might be a good idea to go to East Town because then they're going to be committed to moving across the top. Yeah, I'll think about that. Yeah, okay. So anyway, okay, we're doing all right, but we've not got a lot of time. Enema phase, these guys move up. There we go, they've moved up. It's a very fast game in this one. Upkeep phase, working a hunch, fast play, discover a clue at your location. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Okay. So we will move into the Mythos phase. There are now 3 Doom. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And the encounter deck has, I can't believe this, another Acolyte. Where are we going to put this one? We don't want to put it East Town. We don't want a River Town, Graveyard, Miskatonic University. Well, I don't really want to put it there either because, although it's got to either be St. Mary's Hospital or Miskatonic University. Kind of, does it really matter? Because if we're either way, we would be, I guess Miskatonic University is sort of better because we might need more than one go to try and evade Ruth Turner, maybe? Yeah, I'm going to put it in Miskatonic University. That's another Doom. Oh, boy. All right, we go into the investigation phase. I can't believe just how horrible things have gone. Okay. We really need to get ourselves to Herman Collins, but what I don't want to happen is, say I went down there now, these guys would move here, and then they would move here. I'd rather have them here, because then, yeah. So what I might do is, first action, I'm going to move to East Town, because I don't want to be on downtown. Second action, I'm going to spend 2 and bring out the next cultist. Let's see who it is. It's Victoria Devereaux. Oh my God. Well, I guess we could use the gate box to get over there. We don't have the money anyway at the moment. I'm actually thinking, of course, I am going to move to Rivertown because we can use the gate box to get out, and then we'll probably have enough money then, I'm thinking, would we? Because if we move here, they'll move here, then we would move here next time, and we would get Herman Collins. I think we need a bit more time to get over there, don't we? Because I wouldn't mind getting the clues and the victory point here as well. So I think the best thing to do is to I don't want to spend my money either. Because I could get that clue, but There's no point. So I am going to take a resource. I'm going to take a resource. Yep. Okay, that's my go. Okay, enemy phase. These two move. Not Victoria. These two move across. Victoria stays there. Okay. I'm going to definitely gate box from the graveyard to north side. Definitely. Where have the clues gone? Did I take the clues off here by mistake? Because they come from the token pool, so there should be 2 clues on here. Yeah. Okay. That was enemy phase. So the upkeep phase, we get mind over matter. Oh, okay. So this, we could get rid of some of this doom now because we could kill some acolytes, couldn't we? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that would buy us more time. So I could use it to get, if I could use it to, fortunately they're a bit far away. I wish they were next to each other, but I could use it to buy myself some more time. That's good. Okay, so we move into the upkeep. There are now 3, 4, 5 doom down. Oh boy. Chaos bag. Sorry, encounter deck gives us hunting shadow. You must either spend a clue, take 2 damage. Oh boy. Well, I don't want to lose Milan, so I'm going to take the 2 damage. Oh boy, that's getting it close to the edge. All right, we will move into the investigation phase. 3 actions onto Luke. Okay. So first action, we'll move to Rivertown. Second action, we will move into the graveyard. Okay, so we've got a test for horror. Test 3. We are a 4. 4 cards. We can make it a... Oh, we don't need to heal. Just take the hoot. Okay, so don't worry about it. So it's a 3 versus a 4. A 3 versus a 4. Chaos bag gives us a -1, so we succeed. Herman Collins is engaged with us. So we've got to get rid of 4 of these cards and keep 1. Now, working a hunch is good, but the problem is we need the money because we want to go and see Devro. But it's fast. Discover, but it's not an investigate. But maybe it doesn't matter because... it does matter, actually. So we're not going to use that. We need the money. I think I'm going to get rid of these 4 and keep the mind over matter. So we'll get rid of these 4. And Herman Collins goes into the victory and the crowd goes wild. There we go. That's our... So next time, we will get these clues. How's this going to work? Or do we just go and get Devro? We can either go and get Devro, or we could move and kill the Acolyte would be the other thing to do. Or is it better getting the clues and the victory point? The problem is if we wait for the clues, we will lose a whole turn, because even if I go into the gate box, I'm going to move out somewhere and I can't go to revealed location because I'll get attacked. So that's not much help. Okay. This is an event, though, so this... you can play one event each turn if you're at a connecting location. Okay. So I can go... because I think these are connected to everything. Yeah. So actually what I can do is I can do both. I can move to the Dream Gate. I can then deal with Victoria Devereux and... oh, no, I won't have enough money. I was going to say, and I can attack the Acolyte. But actually, I can do that. So, yeah. So that's actually a really good way of doing it. That's what I'm going to do. Yes. Okay. Yes, that's the best thing to do. All right, let's keep going. Enemy phase, these two move this way. That's good. Then we move into upkeep. We get a flashlight, whatever. So we move into the Mythos phase. There are now 4, 5, 6 Doom Downs. So we really do need to deal with that. I'm thinking maybe we should do that first. I've got to think about this. Okay. Let's see what the encounter deck has. The encounter deck... oh, no. What? Oh, no. The Wizard of the Order. Oh. Okay. That's... this is just... okay. Calm Blue Ocean. Okay, we move into the investigation phase. 3 actions onto Luke. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to exhaust the Dream Box, the Gate Box, the Dream Box, the Gate Box, sorry. So we will move into the Dream Gate. Since we haven't done anything yet. So now we are technically... yeah, we are technically... so what I'm going to do is, I think the best thing to do is try and get rid of 2 of the... because we are technically now connected to everything. So, and we have this thing here where you may play one event each turn as if you were at a connecting location and engage with each enemy. So the thing is, I can't do this at multiple locations. I can only do it. Yeah. So, so we've got 2 choices here. We could either pretend we're at the we're at Northside, and we could just deal with that, or we could pretend we're at St. Mary's Hospital, and we could play Mind Over Matter and kill the Wizard of the Order. But the problem with that is we could play Mind Over Matter, but it would take 2 turns. And then we would, yeah, and then the problem is then is 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is going to flip next time. So unless I deal with Wizard of the Order, so if I deal with the Wizard of the Order from here, but where would we? Okay. Oh boy. Then he's gone, which means this will become 5, 6. I'll have 1 turn left. So I deal with Wizard of the Order, and then I would spawn back somewhere. Where would I spawn back? See, I can't spawn there, and I can't spawn there. If I spawn there, I would lose Milan Christopher, and then I would then... yeah, I think that's what... yeah. But then what's the point of dealing with the Wizard of the Order? Because we might as well just... Unless we can kill... Unless we could kill 2 acolytes. So I could move to Miskatonic University. 1 action, kill the acolyte. But that's 1, 2, no. It's just, I just can't do enough. Can only, it's only 1, isn't it? Once per turn, you may play 1 event as if you were at a connecting location. Engage with each enemy at that location. Okay. Oh, I think oh no, because it takes 2 actions, doesn't it? The other thing I could do is I could play Mind Over Matter as if I'm at the house here, kill that acolyte. Then I could move to Miskatonic University and use the Mind Over Matter again and kill the second acolyte and get rid of 2 doom. But then even then we've spent... Oh, we'll get the 1 back. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do, just so I can use this ability here. So I'm going to spend 1 and use Mind Over Matter. So now we can fight with intellect. If this doesn't... And the other thing is if I fail, that's it. So first action, I'm going to fight the... I'm going to connect to the house. I'm going to fight this acolyte. So I am a 3. I am a 4. 4 versus 3. Like I'm only 1 up. I've changed my mind. I don't think it's going to work because I'm going to have to either have to spend money to make sure that I succeed with this fight because I'm still only a 4. And they're a 3. So I'm going to have to, and there are -1, so 4 versus 3. Oh, let's do it. So I'm going to make that a 5 versus a 3. So we're 2 up against this acolyte. Chaos Bag gives us a -1, so we succeed and we kill that acolyte. That's our first action. Then we're going to move to Miskatonic University and we are going to fight this second acolyte. Again, we're a 4 versus a 3. I'm going to spend 1 money. So that gives us a 5 versus 3. We are 2 up. Chaos Bag gives me a +1, so I kill another acolyte. I've got 1 action left. So for my final action, I will get a money. Woo! Oh boy, okay. So there we go. So, and it is possible we could get a shriveling or something. It is possible we could get something that allows us to fight again. So what did we do? We used the gate box to put ourselves into the dream gate. Or we were already in the dream gate. I can't remember which. That was a fast action. We used our special ability, which would allow us to play 1 event as if we were at a connecting location. So we fast played Mind Over Matter, which means we were using intellect to fight. And I was I played the event as if I was at the house engaged with the acolyte there. And I succeeded. So I killed that acolyte. I then moved to Miskatonic University for my second action, and I fought again, and I killed that acolyte. I'm pretty sure I did that right. So that's good. I got rid of 2, so that's 2 doom gotten rid of. Enemy phase, these guys move, so they move to here. Upkeep phase, we get a knife. Okay. Yep. Okay, so we move into the Mythos phase. There's 5 Doom here, and we add another Doom here. So there's now 7 Doom. So it will flip next time. Let's see what the encounter deck has. And the encounter deck has Obscuring Fog. But that's fine. There's already an Obscuring Fog here, so it just goes away. There we go. Whew. Lucky. So we move into the investigation phase. So now, 3 actions onto Luke. So, what can we do here? So we've got a knife. So we could... we could play the knife, move to St. Mary's Hospital, and throw the knife. We could do all of those things. We are a fight of 2. That would give us a fight of 4. We would be a 4 versus a 4. So, yeah. No, I mean, it's possible, but probably highly improbable that it would work. So I'm not going to do that. I would really like to do that, but I just can't see that working. So I think what we do is we move to Northside. Hello, Luke. How are you? Oh, what a lovely dressing gown. I couldn't buy that off you. It looks like an antique. And I will spend the 5. And the crag goes wild. That was my second action. And for my third action, I will resign. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was, oh my goodness, what a scenario. Things didn't start well. We had the Hunting Night Gaunt on us right from the start. And then it was just a cascade of stuff. We got Acolytes. We got Mysterious Chanting. So the first agenda just disappeared within moments. We never got shriveling or anything like that. So we found ourselves in a really perilous place. It's kind of a miracle that we managed to get any cultists at all, but we did manage to get 2. Unfortunately, we didn't get a victory point at Miskatonic University because we auto-failed and dropped all our clues back down. And we got the Wizard of the Order. It was such a tough scenario. We've had a couple of really tough scenarios, but we managed to do pretty well. I think the gate box, the dream box, the gate box really showed its worth at the end there. Unfortunately, it's not much good at the beginning when there's no revealed locations. That's the biggest problem. There was nowhere to go. And the problem was also there was a lot of enemies and a lot of locations, which made it also very difficult. But anyway, we got there in the end. So thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Now, next time we will be taking Silas through the Midnight Masts. Yes, everybody's favorite seafarer and survivor, Silas. And we will see how he goes. But until then, I'm Krabby Terror 8. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.